Studio 6B on a Friday night. America First Warehouse. Real America's voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Glad you're in on a Friday night, everybody. Welcome back into the America First Warehouse. What a place it is, and we love being here on Friday nights, and we can't wait to see you here coming up. Vinnie Mac in the house tonight. It's going to do some news. Slick Rick's got some sports. Paul Nolan's got the news as well. And, of course, Rick Delgado sitting right across from me is going to have some news as well. Welcome on in. If you're watching on social media, at LFS6B, make sure you give us a follow on social media as well. And head over to liveFromStudio6B.com. Welcome on in. Mr. Nolan, how are you tonight?
I am well. I am really well. I closed on a house we flipped today, and
hey, congrats!
It was a very easy, simple process. And I'm going to tell you, the young couple with 3 kids sent me the picture of them in front of their house, and they're all so happy, and it's a great feeling.
Very rewarding.
Yeah, it's a great feeling because they're a beautiful couple, and he's a fireman, she's a cop, and the kids are adorable.
Oh, wow.
It was really nice to. We didn't even go to the market. We liked them so much, so we just I left money on the table just because I like the kids so much. So it was a great day.
Well, congratulations to you and your team and to them as well. Brand new home. That's awesome. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I was doing great.
Until
I sat down and I got to look at, because I got to sit across from you. Look at those friggin' feet. I can't believe you decided to wear flip-flops again today.
I'm surprised you stopped whining about your food not being here, at least in 5 minutes for you to actually take a breath and speak into the microphone.
Oh, my goodness. I was beside myself. I haven't eaten all day thinking of Pizza Friday. And Damon usually is, hey, going to take control.
Here's the interesting thing about that, Delgado.
Yes.
Who normally gets the pizza on Pizza Fridays?
Normally I do.
Okay, that's right. You get it and bring it there. And then who pays for the pizza on Pizza Fridays?
And what happened the last 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah,
the audience.
I was taken out of the equation.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Delgado's like, are you picking up the pizza? I said, what are you, out of your mind? I said, I've never done that.
All you did was talk about pizza yesterday.
Yeah.
Big D.
That's all I heard about was pizza.
In fairness, if Big D's going to buy, you got to fly.
Yeah.
I understand that, but he didn't know he was buying until I called him to be like, I hope you're bringing the pizza.
Did you guys ever hear of a delivery service? No.
Slickster's got sports. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
Oh, man. Did you happen to see, what's his name? I think it was Cam Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe, was it Cam Smith?
Big day.
Or somebody Cam. I forget who it was, but did you see the guy who missed the cut because he 4-putted from about 10 feet?
Yeah,
oh, my God.
I taught him how to do that.
That was bad. Yeah, I think all of us could have taught him that
What
one.
a way to miss the cut at the Masters, boy.
That's a heartbreaker.
But Rory put up a good number today. You guys who picked Bryson DeChambeau, he's right there.
DeChambeau's right there at number 2.
Tony Finau, I think, fell in the lake on 16, so I don't think he even put up a score for round 2.
Cutting out.
Oh, my God. Why do I keep picking him?
Did he know you were betting on him?
I think so,
I think so, too.
I think so, too. I really do.
I don't think I have anybody even in contention. My German guy, Aberg, I don't know what he shot today. It wasn't
Ludwig?
good. I think +1.
Yeah, Ludwig. Yeah.
So the leader's like, what, 8 under?
9 under, I believe.
9 under, and I think my closest guy is +1, so I'm dead in the whole thing.
I think Rory's daughter's probably shot better.
Yeah, she made a nice putt on the...
My number 3 guy, he's gone. He's number 40,
yeah.
John Rahm.
Justin Rose is...
Did Rahm make the cut?
I guess he did. He came in 40. He was -1, so...
Oh, okay, yeah. I think the cut was +2, so...
Yeah, Justin Rose is 8 under.
Oh, wait a minute. Forgive me. He's +2.
Rose plays well there. But no, I think he makes the cut, Paul. I think he made a putt on 18 to make it, so...
All right.
We'll get to the Masters and the leaderboard there. Vinnie Mac, how are you tonight?
I'm impressed with all the knowledge of golf. I keep score a different way. I count how many balls I lose.
Yes.
So I had an 8 last time. It was excellent. That's
What'd you do on the second hole?
I got exactly. I lost 8 balls. And I'm impressed with Delgado's obsession with pizza and a pedicure. One of those 2 things he came in with, and I'm not sure where you're leaning towards those. But
surprisingly, I still do have an appetite.
Yeah. You're a growing boy.
Yeah, well, you gotta.
Growing, yeah, well... Anyways,
check please.
4 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. So a busy Friday night. We'll get to some news. We'll get to sports. I think we're actually going to hear from the President of the United States during the show as well.
Thank you.
As he's going to be doing some kind of a press taping, some kind of press gaggle, maybe answering some questions. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing, but we'll bring you that as soon as we have it. I think it's probably a press gaggle on Air Force One on his way, I think, for the weekend to Florida. So once we have that, we'll roll that as as well. But I thought we'd start tonight. You know, we're at the America's First Warehouse. And, of course, pretty soon we're going to have people here. And the America's First Warehouse, the team here, Joe DeBox and Martin and the whole staff are absolutely just working their you-know-what's off to make this thing as special as we can for when you people get here. And setting up a stage, and we're going to, we got a lot of ideas on how we want to do this, and obviously audience interaction and kind of round table discussion is what we want to do here. So I thought tonight we'd get a little practice and we'd do a little round table discussion. So I thought, let's do this. Let's put some grades right now on the administration, the president, the vice president, and the cabinet. What would we grade? And we'll start with the president right now. What's the grade you give the president? Give me a grade and give me a little bit reason why that is the grade. Delgado, I'll start with you. For Trump, what's your grade?
I would have to say I'd give him an A.
Okay.
I wouldn't go A+ because I think there are some things that haven't come to fruition yet. But at least, you know what? He's delivering on everything that he campaigned on. He's pressing forward with. Whether it's happened quickly or not, that's not, things happen the way they happen. And they happen at a timetable that, unfortunately we can't control. But you know what? He's gotten the people that he wanted in, right? He's got a bunch of all his top people he got confirmed.
That's true.
He's signed a boatload of executive orders
111.
to kind of push us in the direction we need to go. He delivered on the immigration thing so far. That was the quickest one. Everything that he's talked about and he campaigned on, I feel like he's coming through.
Absolutely.
Again, you leave off the plus because there's always that extra little something. Nobody's going to be perfect.
You're a tough grader.
Yes, I am. I try.
No curve.
But, I think I'd go with an A right now, definitely.
Okay. All right.
Okay, very
I'll
good.
go with an A.
Paul Nolan, what's your grade for President Trump?
Like freaking awesome.
So that's
no, I would go A+. The only thing I'm not thrilled with is, I think Israel still has a little too much power over our decision-making in the White House. Other than that, 111 executive orders. As you said, he got his guys in that he wants. He's stopped the invasion at the border. He's done everything in his power to bring infrastructure back. He's talking about everything he said that everybody in MAGA was interested in. The working class, the working man. The fact that there's a chance he's going to take on the IRS next. The fact that he's willing to essentially have no F's to give about what anything or anyone or any amount of bombardment from the media comes at him, I couldn't be more impressed. He's fearless. He doesn't care at any level. He's not trying to placate the left like he did in his first term. He wasn't trying to placate his neocon establishment jackasses like Bolton and these like Scaramucci's and people who just had no business being there. He's cleaned house. He's got a bunch of outsiders on the inside. Now we're seeing all these redacted files from RFK and MLK being scanned in, and Tulsi's coming full steam ahead on that. I think the only thing that would stop it from an A++ to me would be my impatience.
It's funny you mentioned Scaramucci because he had so many weak people initially in that first term. We don't see any of that now. There's no sign of a person like Scaramucci. You know?
That guy is
apples and oranges this term.
No Scaramucci, no Aramosa, or whatever the hell her name was.
Yeah, that was a little nuts.
None of those types. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, look, he brought in Lee Zeldin. Lee Zeldin is just stomping on throats.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been fun.
Strong guy.
It's everything that I wanted. Just obviously, I'm an impetuous 11-year-old in a balloon factory, and I want all the answers to everything right now.
Good.
Okay, well, maybe those grades might be coming here in a little bit, but so your grade was what, A+?
A+. I can't be happier.
Slick, for Trump, what's your grade?
Well, these guys talked me up a little bit. I was actually at a B+. I feel there's room for improvement. I'm going to give him an A- because I still think there's work to be done. Certainly with the tariff situation, I mean, he's doing the right thing. I'm behind him 100%. Kind of back and forth now. We didn't go after. We didn't fully put the clamps down on Canada and Mexico for a lot of reasons. And there's a lot of reasons to what I'm saying in terms of the hostages, for example. I would have liked to seen that situation done. You had alluded the other night, all hell's going to break loose, right, Big D? And we know that it really did not all break loose. Again, negotiations going on, but I like when Trump has that take no prisoners attitude. But of course, with hostages,
you make a great point.
You got no choice. So, that was kind of where I'm at and where I'm at the grade. But listening to some of the other good accomplishments, let's put it in context too. It's only 2.5 months, going on 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, all those executive orders that have been signed. What is it, an all-time record? Naturally, I'm very impressed with that. So you talked me up to an A minus. I'm hoping I'm saying A plus next time you ask this question, Big D, down the road. I think we could get to there, but I'm not ready to give him the A plus or even an A. I was at a B plus, but again, you guys talked me up a little bit.
All right.
Paul.
All right, very good. Vinnie Mac, where are you at for President Trump?
Well, I like how we worked over Slick, so that worked pretty well. I look at Trump's first term like the 16-year-old prodigy that graduates high school, college, gets his master's and his doctorate at 16. Because this is an administration that has done so many things. It's not even close, the amount of stuff that anyone's even attempted in 4 years, this guy in the first 100 days has done. So I'm an A-plus with him because every item that he ran on, he's addressed. Not everything's been accomplished, but it's been a couple of months.
Yeah.
And he's also, that's why I made that example of the 16-year-old prodigy, because there's just an enormous amount of tasks that he's taken on. The large number of tasks and to achieve momentum in all of them. Even I'm hearing myself.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Honestly,
You sound good.
Vinnie Mac, how are you doing today?
It was so terrific. It should have been played twice.
Yeah. Well, I was a former model. I appreciate that. But the amount of stuff that he's done, and the hostage thing, yeah, sure. I mean, not everything's going to be perfect, but an A plus because this guy has done what he said he's going to do. No one's really ever done that. They talk a big game.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what politician there is, they talk a big game. No one talks a big game and says, I'm going to do 1,000 things. And you know what? I'm going to touch all 1,000. That's a CEO for you. So that's an A plus for me.
Okay, very good. I'm certainly a solid A for President Trump. Let's go to the VP, and we can go a little quicker around so we can get to everybody I want to get to. J.D. Vance, Rick Delgado, what's the grade?
I'm going to say another A, a solid A.
Paul?
Without a doubt, A or A plus.
Slick?
Yeah, I would say A. I'd like to see a little bit more from him, though.
Wow, Slick, you're tough tonight.
No, I'm just being honest.
Vinnie
I
Mac?
don't want,
I go A. This guy's actually doing stuff. We
Yeah.
haven't seen a VP do stuff in a long time.
The one
Yeah.
thing to me that really stands out is he clearly looks like a guy competent to be the next presidential candidate. He just,
Yes.
to me, he looks fully in charge in every room he's in.
Not just cherry-picked.
And exactly right. I love the way he'll pump Trump's tires up.
Yeah.
He'll be like, with the Zelensky thing, that to me was the ultimate, my right-hand man having my back.
stuck
The
out
way
to
he
me as
went
well.
about it. Look,
He was big.
His
that
speech
to-
overseas, yep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he just came at it like a boss.
Yeah, I would say solid A. Vin, what'd you say for him? Did you give me a grade for him?
Yeah, A.
Oh, A, okay, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, Musk and Doge, we'll put those two together. Oh, wait, we got to hit the break. All right, let's hit the break. We'll continue with our scorecard here.
I'll be thinking.
Think hard. Musk, Doge coming up. Stephen Miller, Scott Besson, Pete Hegseth, Kristi Noem, Rubio, Kennedy, Rollins, Patel, Bongino, Bondi, Waltz, and Radcliffe all coming up. We'll get grades right after this. Pizza, hurry, please. Get that whiny bitch stuff out of you. You're dropping stuff all over the place. You're like nervous. You're shaking.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Over there and knock
Chat. What's going on a Friday night?
Shake it.
You want some kale there, Delgado?
Really?
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
He needs that Mike Lindell energy drink, I think, tonight.
Chat. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm all for an A+, man. I'm all with it.
I mean, the amount he's got done in such a short period of time, to me, it's just
Racing Banshee, what's
executive
going
orders.
on?
But I think you actually might have knocked me
Ooh,
off the
someone said
A+,
they're working the
because
Ryder
hostage
Cup and Beth
situation.
Page. Who is
I
that?
think you really,
Who just
I
said
think you
that?
make a
Hi,
good
guys. I'm
point.
working
I think
the
there's
Ryder
room a
Cup
little-
and
just a
Beth
little
Page.
one.
Laura
Just
Jean on
fantastic.
Facebook.
You know
Very
what?
nice.
I think I had a.
I got to figure out how I'm going to get
Yeah,
into
Chris, I
the
think
Ryder
Israel
Cup.
has too much power
Who's going to get
over
me
us,
tickets?
but,
When
That's
is
what I
that?
need to know.
That
you know, you got
the summer?
be behind them, otherwise.
The Ryder
Well,
Cup
that's- yeah, I
is
know.
in September.
You're for
Oh.
psychopathic terrorists.
I used to know Bubba Watson. The long driver guy.
Yes.
Bubba Watson, the
golfer.
PGA Pro who's playing in the Masters right now. Yes,
That
Bubba
guy.
Watson.
Yeah. I signed him to a licensing deal. So I mean, I know him.
Could you call him and get me Ryder Cup tickets?
No.
Cheesecakes?
No.
Well,
Can't
what
do
good-
that.
I mean, what-
Watsons?
Can't do that. No. I could call him, but I'm not
I
going
have
to
a
do
bunch
that.
of friends who are going to be volunteers at the Ryder Cup,
Oh, how nice.
Nice.
Wow.
and it's a joke. You're a volunteer, and it still costs you money.
That's why I stick with miniature golf, because you don't have any of those pressures. It's very simple.
Without a
Yeah.
I think we need to have live coverage from the that page Black this year.
Yeah, David's going to get us all tickets.
Yeah. What's he going to do? Sell his house?
I think Delgado's making oatmeal now in the back there.
You see what people are going to rent their house for the Ryder Cup?
He's making.
A house.
I think he's actually curating the pig for the bacon topping. He's procuring
He's making steel-cut oatmeal back there. He's
Farmer
really
Brook.
focused.
Did you find that
Farmer
pig?
Brook on X. I appreciate that. Maybe one day I'll make it out there for that tournament.
Ah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice, Larry.
Do-do-do-do.
All right, let's see where my Facebook peeps are.
Ba-ba-da-da. All right, Friday night at the America First Warehouse, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Glad you're in, everybody. Slick Rick's going to do some sports. Vinnie Mac's going to do some news. Paul Nolan and Rick Delgado also with some news of the day, all coming up. Glad you're in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you're watching on social media. And make sure you hit the live from studio6b.com as well and sign up to be a member there. So we're kind of throwing some report card grades around here on where we are. Thought this would be a good idea. Change it up. Get everybody kind of thinking about this and round table discussions, which is what we want to do when you come here live to the America's First Warehouse. And we'll obviously you're going to be a big part of these discussions as well. We're going to get Slickster out there in the audience with the microphone when we do things like this. So we're looking forward to that. Musk and DOGE. Next up, Rick Delgado, what's your grade for Musk and DOGE?
I'm going to go with an A++.
Ooh.
And here's why.
Okay.
Because I didn't know this was happening until it was happening.
Okay.
And it's been a complete and utter awesome surprise. Like you know, you think you're done opening up all your gifts, and you're like, damn, I thought I'd get something else. I guess it's not going to happen. And all of a sudden, from out of nowhere comes the Red Ryder, BB gun, and it
You're gonna
just
shoot
makes
your eye out, kid.
Yeah, exactly, and it makes your entire Christmas. And I think that's what this is. What they've been doing. And again, when they announced, it's going to be government efficiency, I didn't really understand, what are they going to be able to do? And then when you hear and when you start reading about how they walked in and they just started combing through, and the way it was almost like they released a virus into the system to say, find everything that's alive and bring it back out. And let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, pleasant surprise, right?
Pleasant surprise. Awesome surprise.
Yeah.
And especially the way you see, and I think the plus comes in with the reactions. Because those reactions are telling.
Yeah.
Those are the reactions of guilty people.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Very much so.
Very much
That's
so.
a good point.
So I'm going to go with, I can go A++, but I think they're going to find more. And I think that's, and Damon, I'm saying that because I've got a special report on what that more could be.
Did you get the sense at all today from the president's roundtable that Musk might be, I don't know, the president said something today kind of caught my attention. He said something like, I don't need Elon anymore for anything but just the fact that I like him or something like that. Did you hear him say that?
No, I didn't hear him say that, but I could understand.
You think he's at almost this time where he's going to be moving back out into doing his own businesses and getting out of the White House? There's been some speculation the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, there's been speculation, and it's on. I think the way the president's framed it is kind of on his timetable when he thinks he needs to get back to his companies. And then and again, I go back to a couple weeks ago when he was on with Joe Rogan talking about pushing on this corruption could get me killed.
That was an amazing
Oh, yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
But he's already set the systems, though.
Right.
So now people can come in and just follow the systems.
Right, exactly.
You know, so maybe he's not as needed as, you know.
Grade for Musk and Doge, Paul?
There is no, it's just off the chart as far as I'm concerned. And I think to double down on what Delgado said, for me, it's not just the reactions of the people getting busted. So much more is happening. The socialists are being exposed.
Yeah.
Because we're watching the dismantling of the socialist program. So all these wackos who think that I'm supposed to work 70 hours a week, give half of every dollar I make, so some, like, goofy plan of
nice.
Sesame Street and like the Gaza Strip. I got to pay for that. You out of your marbles? I want to buy GI Joe with the Kung Fu grip. I don't want the Red Rifle BB gun. I want some toys too.
Monkey shrine on condoms, you know, stuff, things like that. Yeah.
Right. So for me, it's not only that. It's the other beauty of it is the corruption being exposed is fantastic. It's watching the liberal heads explode. It's fantastic. You people are buffoons. You deserve what's happening to you, and it's so exciting to watch your little stupid head go ba-boom. So I love it. It's a blast, and it can't be better.
Slick?
Yeah, I did.
Grade on Doge and Musk?
Yeah, I'm with these guys. I mean, it's off the charts. A+, 100%. I'm loving what I'm seeing because I've never seen it in my lifetime, and this is just great. Cleaning house, taking numbers, and not taking prisoners on this one. I love it. I hope it continues, and I hope eventually the other side realizes when they see their paycheck or they see their tax rate or their Social Security, and they go, "Oh my God, that was a good move." They'll never admit it to us, but we'll know when we know. So, yes.
Vin, his point though, not taking prisoners. I like how you slipped that in there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some prisoners at the end of this.
Even Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned.
Vinnie Mac, last
Epstein
one.
list coming out soon.
Do some sports.
Yeah,
we'll get back to
I'm
this.
with an A+ on this, but for a couple of different reasons. The precedent of efficiency in our government with the committees that we've had was so low. Like, we thought that was efficiency when they checked the checks and balances they had to check stuff. This guy has created a system at such a high level of real efficiency that you got to give him an A+, one, for doing that, two, for finding the things he's doing, and three, for just taking a sledgehammer to whatever we thought we could do within the government to check things. Because they don't know what they're doing. It's like, you know, an inmate checking his own crimes. You know, it was too incestuous.
You talk about insanity. Talk about the people showing up to protest in front of the buildings that they work in because they don't want to go to work. That's the time they show up to work.
I made a note of that. I can't believe you just said that.
In front of the building that they're supposed to be working at.
I haven't been to the building in like 5 years.
That's ridiculous.
But I'm going to protest.
So fantastic.
That's the level of insanity
That is
we're
weird,
dealing
wacky
with.
stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave?
All right, very good. We'll get
What about you, Big D?
Where are you at?
for Doge and them, solid A for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we'll get back to the report card here as we work out through the show, but let's do some sports right now. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you want to shop at MyPillow. LFS6B promo code will give you a great savings on all the great stuff from Lindell, most of it made right here in the good old U.S. of A. Slick's got sports. Slickster, what's going on?
Like you said, Big D, one of the best weekends in sports for the year. We have the big granddaddy of them all for golf, the Masters in action. Augusta, Georgia, round 2 wrapped up earlier today. Justin Rose shot a 1 under today for a 2-day combined of 8 under. So he's the leader. Bryson DeChambeau right behind him. He shot a 4 under, had a good day. He's 7 under for 2 days. Rory McIlroy is in third, tied with Connors, and he shot a 6 under today. So Rory had a good day because he was kind of flat yesterday. He's 6 under for the 2 days as well. So very exciting. Like I always say, the guy in first place usually isn't the guy when I come in Monday night and tell you who won. So again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, great.
Scotty Scheffler sitting right there.
Yeah, you got some. Yeah, you got a couple of good ones coming up there. So we'll keep an eye on that. NHL action to the scoreboard. Senators 3-1 over the Canadians. 12 to go to the second. Getting down to the wires, boys. With the NHL wild card spot are up for grab. A couple of spots left. Certainly not for the Islanders and probably not for the Rangers either. Lightning 1-1 there with the Red Wings. 10 to go there in the second. Penguins and Devils knotted at 2. 9 to go there in the second. 9:30 we have the Sharks at the Oilers and Wild taking on the Flames at 10 o'clock as well. NBA action. Knicks in action. Beating up on the Cavaliers. Good one in the Garden. 48-27. 7 to go there in the second half. Heat and Pelicans 23-12 there. Heat leading that down in New Orleans. And I have time for one quick story. Can I get to one quick story? Do I have time, Big D?
You have plenty of time. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, great.
Well, you have
All
a minute, basically.
Well, this is interesting. Maine MAGA parent silenced at school board meeting during speech opposing trans athletes in girls' sports. Communist China right here, parent yells after being silenced. Jackson Thompson of Fox News. A school board meeting in Maine's capital city of Augusta Augusta on Wednesday night featured a contentious interaction between a parent in a MAGA hat and the school board president over the state's ongoing controversy of trans athlete inclusion in girls' sports. Augusta School Board Chair Martha Witham cut off community member Nick Blanchard while he had discussed the controversial issue and a petition he launched to have Coney Middle and High School Principal Kim Linscomb removed from a position as seen, well, I don't have the footage, obviously, but Linscomb is currently the president of the Maine's Principal Association, MPA, which supports transgender athlete participation in school sports based on gender identity and has been a subject of scrutiny by President Donald Trump's administration over the issue. Blanchard, who showed up to the meeting in a MAGA hat and a T-shirt that read, "You are fired," started his speech by praising the 6 of the 7 members of the board who voted to adopt the 2020 interpretation of Title IX. That did not allow trans athletes to compete as girls. Blanchard also condemned the board who voted against it, which prompted the first interruption by Witham. Good job, and thank you to the 6 members that voted to go back to the 2020 interpretation of Title IX, and shame on the one board member that voted no. And I'll finish it later.
All right, live from Studio 6B. More to do. 26 past the hour. We'll do more when we get back right after this.
Legato's making waffles now. I think the oatmeal's done. He's very, very handy in there. When he's hungry, he's good in the kitchen. Very domestic. Oh, man. What do they call that? Hangry? When you're hungry and angry.
Has anyone heard anything from Bill Maher yet about his visit? Has he come out with anything yet?
One thing, which was about he just thought Trump was a great candidate and a great politician because he stuck with what he wanted to do. Like, he doubled down on that, and he spoke sort of from the heart to people. And he's that really impressed me.
I meant like his dinner meeting with Kid Rock. That's what he said.
That's what he said from that. He said, I gave him a lot of credit. He's a great politician. You know, he was pretty sincere. You know, you may not agree with his policies. That's kind of what he talked about.
Or his methodologies.
Yeah.
So a lot of people get so butthurt by his brashness.
Yeah, and I feel like someone was talking about that today with me, and I'm like, you know what? That's what's needed to get it done. If Obama was doing the same stuff, you know, you would know that the Chinese would be like, yeah, but we can get around this guy.
If Obama said he wanted a cup of coffee, I would know he was lying. He never stopped lying for a split second.
Yeah.
And he was so, you know, that fake Martin Luther King type, like that practiced orator thing. I mean, he worked on that for so long. It was just so trite to me. I couldn't
all the way of speaking, everything.
And then we saw Kamala trying to do her Obama impersonation.
Yeah. That was weak as heck. But Trump being bombastic, though, is what's going to get the job done. Because no one takes our people seriously.
Exactly right.
What is that?
Have you guys been following this Sarah Wynne Williams from Meta?
And I served as the director of global public policy at Facebook.
Who is this?
She was a whistleblower who worked at Facebook with China.
I've been following that story. Yep.
I'd like to touch on that today. Do I have a clip on Instagram? Can you, if I find it on Twitter, can you play it on your computer?
If it's on Twitter, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely there.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, America's First Warehouse. Glad you're in. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. If you're watching on social media, welcome on in as well. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up, and head over to livefromstudio6b.com where you can sign up absolutely free to become a member over there, where you can see all of our past shows, all of our past segments, past Crazy Towns, past What Even Is That's, of course, all of our merch. All available live from studio6b.com. We were doing sports with Slick. Slick, did you finish that story?
No, I didn't with this gentleman, Mr. Blanchard, there up in Maine. So if I can. So what happened is the petition. Yeah, the petition is asking if you school board members will put up a vote, Blanchard began, before being cut off again by Witham. Witham told Blanchard that his statements would not be tolerated and warned him that he would be asked to step down from the podium if he continued making defamatory remarks. I don't see any defamatory remarks. When Blanchard asked how his remarks were defamatory, Witham responded by saying, "I don't have to explain it to you. These comments will not be tolerated at the meeting directed toward us or to anybody else in this room." Blanchard then agreed that to proceed with his speech without referring to Liscombe by name. So, as most of you know, someone who is the president of the Maine's Principals Association, Blanchard began, before being interrupted by Witham for the final time. "Nope, close enough. I'm sorry, you are done, Mr. Blanchard," Witham said, ordering him off the podium. As Blanchard walked away, he yelled, "Communist China right here." Augusta schools have provided a statement to Fox News Digital addressing Blanchard's removal, insisting it was not because of the specific content of his argument, but for generally violating board meeting conduct policies. I don't know what was the bad policy.
And Blanchard's a sports guy? Is that what I just remind me?
No, Blanchard is a parent that was concerned, who was wearing a MAGA hat and
Gotcha.
you're fired and was making his complaint like Rick's done at school board meetings. And I've never
The men in
spoken.
sports thing is what he was challenging.
Exactly. So anyway, going back and forth, but he was ordered off the board. So basically, that was the story there. Big thing.
Gotcha. Okay, very good. Slick will do some more sports here coming up before the end of the hour. Rick Delgado's got some news. Let's start with that. And what's going on, Delgado?
Right. Well, I know we were talking about, how well the president and the administration has done. One of the things they've been an AA plus on, or plus, or however you want to score it, would be the immigration question. Of course, it's basically almost down to zero. Plus, we also have Tom Homan making his way across the country, making sure that the criminal aliens are being deported, rounded up, and taken away. But also, we also have stupid questions. And stupid questions are something that the media excel at when it comes to this administration, and of course the issues that President Trump has run on and he's delivering on. And that big one, like I said, is immigration. Here is Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, cut number 3, where she answers one of those dumb media questions about the very important job that. Has been undertaken by this administration when it comes to immigration. Here's cut number 3. Check this out.
Question on immigration, Caroline, on immigration. Of the 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office, can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
You may have been going with the worst first. They all have a criminal record.
And welcome to the If they broke our nation's laws, yes, they are a criminal. Yes.
Yeah. Well, when someone is called an illegal immigrant, that kind of tips you off as
Key
to
on the first part.
Right. Exactly. Of what they are. That would be criminal.
What have they done illegally by not committing a crime? I mean,
right.
They are illegally here. They've committed crimes. Holman's been talking about this throughout the whole time he's been in there.
Yeah. And Trump has been talking about it basically since he came down the escalator.
Yeah.
And leave it to the media to try to find ways to fight for the fight for the criminals to to try to defend their character.
They're fighting for some funky stuff
which one of them will give us the level of crime they've committed there? Why don't you tell us?
Yes, exactly. And here she is, of course, now delivering another message. I'm talking about Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, cut number 4, with a message to all illegal immigrants. Again, hence the title in the name, illegal immigrant. Cut number 4. Check this out.
The deadline for registration under the Alien Registration Act is today. All foreign nationals present in the United States longer than 30 days must register with the federal government. Failure to comply with this is a crime, punishable by fines, imprisonment, or both. As President Trump and Secretary Noem have both said, if you register and you leave now, you choose to self-deport. You may have the opportunity to return later legally. But if not, you will be arrested, fined, deported, never to return to our country again.
Yeah, so there you have it from Caroline Leavitt, issuing the basically the order that says, hey, you better get your stuff together, and especially with the appeals court now supporting the Trump administration's move to make sure everybody who's illegal here or an immigrant registers with the federal government.
That's right.
That's another thing, another feather in the cap, so to speak, of the administration and their move to make sure that things are as safe as possible. And if you thought you were done with illegals, no, don't even go to Chicago if you're an illegal, as the people of Chicago have spoken out plenty over the past year or so. Check this out as a Chicago resident torches the Democrats in cut number 5 over the illegal immigration problem in the city of Chicago, where they've seen all of their services wiped out and handed over to the illegals that are running over the city of Chicago. Cut number 5, check this out.
I say, call me a racist. And I don't want anybody who crossed over here illegally unvetted. I don't want them in my community. So you call me racist because let me say, the Democratic Party is so far from reality. They go in their gated communities. I don't see any of those people that's advocating to keep these people here. I don't see them in their house and their communities. They don't have them around their children or their husbands, but yet and still they're advocating for us to allow this in our communities around our kids and our families.
Thank you, Ms. Walters.
Yeah, so there
That's
you
the
have
new
it.
face of racism, by the way.
Yeah.
It's amazing they're speaking out like this, Rick, with the fact that the Democrats, everything they're doing is alienating more and more people. Now they have the Chicago black community against them. I mean, think about that. That's almost a hysterical thing.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Stupid, exactly.
Exactly. And again, the federal judge ruled that every illegal immigrant in the U.S. must now register with the federal government. This coming from John Solomon's Just the News, as he stated on Thursday, sided with the Trump administration by the ruling that every migrant who is in the United States illegally must register with the federal government. The Department of Homeland Security announced in February that all illegals would be required to register with the government, and those that did not could face fines and prosecution. Judge Trevor Neal McFadden agreed that all illegals over the age of 13 need to register. Those migrants will need to provide fingerprints and their addresses. The registration will also include people who are in the country illegally for more than 30 days, such as Canadians who come south for the winter. So there you have it. The Trump administration arguing that the law already existed, but now officials are seriously enforcing it.
Who was that in that last clip you played? She was great.
She was just a citizen of Chicago.
Yeah.
Who just about had it.
She's got that movie star face, so there's a career in politics waiting for her.
Yeah, pretty girl. Smart. All right, very good. We'll do some more news with Rick Delgado. Let's try to get to everybody here while we can. No, Paul Nolan's here. He's what in the news has caught your attention, Mr. Nolan?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much time we have. We have enough time.
You
For this. Josh Hawley, he told he told Fox News Thursday that Meta whistleblower and former employee Sarah Wynne Williams will testify next week before a Senate Judiciary Committee about the problems with the social media giant's internal culture and overseas work issues, the same issues that prompted her explosive tell-all to be blocked from the publications nationwide earlier this year. In a statement to Fox News Digital, Hawley took aim at what he said was a immoral and corrupt company that crafted custom censorship system just to cater to the communist China, and he also criticized the attempts to silence this employee. I think I sent you a clip. I don't know if you could play it on off your computer or not, but there's been a lot of talk here. I know, Vin, you've been paying attention to this.
Definitely.
This is pretty crazy that the whole Meta team had been saying, you need to follow this company line, you must behave this way, you must do this, that, and the other thing, because we can't let China beat us in the AI game. And the whole time, they were aiding and abetting the Chinese Communist Party.
That's right.
To get an upper hand on Americans and American business.
This whistleblower talked about their connection to China directly. I mean, that's almost like espionage here. That's almost treasonous.
I think it is treasonous.
Yeah.
And not only that, remember, Zuckerberg testified under oath. So
That's right.
He's on the hook now.
That came out as part of this.
Yeah.
He testified under
He
oath.
testified
100% right.
under oath that he was forced to do this. Blah blah. He made up every excuse he could to come out looking like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. This just kind of happened.
Right. And then we get to see him roll out his rebranding of his hip libertarian self with his little afro cooking and
taking jiu-jitsu classes.
Yeah,
right.
He's riding his skateboard to work.
He's a phony. He's a phony from the beginning to now.
You want to see this clip, Paul?
Yeah, I think we should roll.
Let's see if this works, Aaron. You want to throw this up? This is the metal whistleblower testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Facebook practices. Here it is. No audio. Okay. All right.
I'll send you a different one if that's the case. But I had audio on mine.
Well, no, it's not. It's not the clip. It's the system here. So,
okay. No.
What else is in the news?
I thought this was in the shocking news of the week. I felt like this is something that nobody saw coming, and I just want to bring a little bit light to it. This is from Democracy Now!, very reliable source. Impeachment is a remedy for a runaway president, Representative Al Green, on why he's about to.
Al Green. I got all his albums. He's really good.
He's gonna.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He's gonna impeach Trump again.
Wrong Al Green.
Baby.
That's what I'm talking about. It's not the same.
No, Vin.
That's not him?
I thought it was
not
too.
Al Green.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was very talented. You know?
What are we missing here? I thought this was.
It's a new single called Impeachment. Yes, it's coming out next week.
Yeah, new single, Look at Me.
This is Al Green with my new single, Impeachment.
Yeah.
So that's it. I just figured I'd make a little joke because what is this, like the 73rd time he's tried to impeach Trump?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And we saw what a delight he was at the,
at the quote unquote State of the Union, not State of the Union, whatever we call it. Yes, Al Green.
How does this guy get voted? Who votes for him?
Well, who's his hairstylist is who I want to know. Who's doing that? Who's doing that weave on
I
his
love
head?
that Al Qaeda look he has.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like
Gucci Fireworks does his
I'm
hair.
just waiting for him to come up with an Al Green
This is the
Motown
Hezbollah
Allah Akbar song.
The real Al Green, yeah. Well,
I like the regular Al
who
Green.
is dumber, do you think? You think it's Al Green, or is it the guy who thinks Guam's going to tip
Hank
over?
Johnson.
Hank Johnson.
Hank
I think Hank Johnson's
Hank
still.
Johnson's got it.
I mean, that is saying a lot, though.
I got to be honest. AOC's trailing the rear there. She's coming up.
Nah, I think she's pretty much a genius compared to Hank Johnson.
Yeah, Hank Johnson is the dumbest man.
Yeah,
One of the greatest. It really looked like when he asked that question, he just smoked 3 pounds of weed.
Maybe that's what's going on. You know, I've been to
I
Guam,
hope
and can't
that's
balance.
why he asked that question because of smoking. Because if he actually just asked that question because he didn't know the answer,
I think it's going on.
Can it capsize?
Tip over.
can the island
Tip over.
tip over?
Oh, yeah. You see capsize.
Interesting
We
observation.
didn't have that clip. That's a great clip.
Magellan.
All right, we're back after this, live from Studio 6B.
The whistleblower he exposed the children's hospital for all the trans surgery.
We've lost it a bunch of times.
Yep.
And they got we have no sound, obviously, coming from this thing to you.
I have no way to solo and check it, and I have no way of knowing if there's auto coming into the sub switcher.
But I got to be honest, I'm hearing you guys fine just being here together. It's
I can hear okay too. Can you guys you know what Rick is cooking? Can you see what he's cooking? No? Pizza?
Who are you talking to, Vin?
I'm talking to Aaron.
Can they see him from
you
up
got
there?
the story on the
Or
Space
is this a
Force
joke?
Commander, right?
Yeah.
I can't tell what's a joke anymore and what's not.
Yeah, well, okay. Keep working it.
That's why we keep you on your toes with our sarcasm. sarcasm? That's not a word. Did I see another plane went down over Boca today?
Yeah, well, on the highway, landed on the highway.
Oh, my
Or
goodness.
something like that.
I know I saw that liberals are rushing to blame Trump for it, like he flew the plane.
They're just, I thought they were out of control last time around. It's a whole nother level right now.
The good news this time, last time I thought he could win them over and I cared. This time I can care less.
I think he feels the way you feel. He could care less. Before he probably cared a little bit.
Your cousin Roger, the other Yeti in your family. By the way, you ever meet Damon's cousin Roger?
Yeah.
When you stand in between those two, it's like, am I the
Every
same
time that happens,
species
I
as
think we're
these
coming
guys?
back.
Look up, I'm like, this sucks.
I don't know.
Yeah, the one I use to upload everything for the network has its audio routed. Let me mute the whole system.
But why is the song playing?
Because I opened up the clip to make the snapshots.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, so he did do a podcast with Chris Cuomo, and he talked all about it on it. Thank you, Roger. I'll stop
Right.
calling you a big dumb animal, okay?
Who's that? I saw something with Chris Cuomo. Who are you talking about?
Bill Maher was, obviously the audience knows he was invited through Kid Rock for that dinner.
Right.
And apparently he opened up about it. I'm surprised that didn't make more news. I guess
I
that
can't
means
see the phone then.
he was favorable.
What are you
to-
asking, Aaron?
Like that?
Slick. Okay.
Like that, Aaron? All right. All right. Okay.
All right, live from Studio 6B. I have no ears, Aaron. Live from Studio 6B, 13 to the hour on a Friday night. Slick's doing sports. Paul Nolan's doing the news. Rick Delgado's going to do some more news. Vinnie Mac is here. Vinnie Mac's going to do some news. Vinnie Mac, what's on your mind?
Yeah, it's been such a busy day with so many things, but I had a phone call today that kind of set me off. And it really,
You're kidding.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't take much, and even a small cup of coffee I don't even need. But it set me off because the media doesn't realize, I'm talking about the left media, by the way, how dangerous they are. Because they're scaring the heck out of people that don't need to be scared. So the phone call I had was with someone who's a partner of mine in another business transaction, and she has a green card. She's here illegally. She's been here for years, and lots of her friends have been here. She happens to be from Belgium. And she called me and she said, I'm really concerned. I'm being told that they're going to round us up and ship us out. And I'm like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And they're getting this information from the left-wing media, who are just spoiling the information for
I'm going
these
through the
people.
same thing.
You're hearing the same thing?
Yeah, I have a lot of guys in the construction business. My partner on the construction side, he's a citizen. So many of his guys aren't. And he's under the impression that, like, even people like him are going to... I'm like, are you watching CNN? He goes, yeah, sometimes. I said, you got to turn that off. He goes, should I watch Fox? I said, no, don't watch that either.
Yeah.
Go to Real America's Voice.
That's
Good answer, Paul.
That's the perfect answer. So in my explanation to her, I said, look, you have a green card, you're here legally, you have nothing to worry about. And the other thing is, being here is a privilege. It's not a right. All these people you see that we are deporting that might have come here under green card status or education status, they're here doing things that are harming our country. You're not here harming our country. You're trying to do business. It is a privilege. It's not a right. You could not go to any country in the world as an American and walk in there and demand the things that these people are demanding. So it really got me concerned about the entire narrative. And if you start looking at the narrative that the left has been doing on just about every subject, they are scaring a lot of people who don't need to be scared. Now, that's how they roll, racism and scaring. But, these poor people who come to this country and have green cards, and I know a lot of them from Africa. They come here, they get educated, they get visas, they get their green cards. They're trying to assimilate into our country and do something productive. And they shouldn't be worried about anything unless They're supporting Hamas at Columbia University and marching to defy the rules and everything going on in the school. So that's what set me off today, amongst a few other things. If I got a minute, I'll go into one more piece, and that is...
Go ahead.
I talked about China last time and the tariffs, and talked about what the real strategy was, with Trump and how he's executing the strategy now by isolating China. Now I'm going to cover a slightly different angle, actually the bigger angle, and that is the reset. And we've heard Mr. Wonderful talk about this. Have you heard him talking about it? Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. This reset, that's where this all is really going. I was at a convention with a proprietary piece of technology that all of a sudden disappeared from the convention. It was stolen by a Chinese company. They steal our IP. They joined the WTO in 2000. They've broken every rule.
Everyone.
They haven't followed anything. So as much as the tariffs are this number that people are freaking out about and all this kind of stuff, first off, that's nonsense, because this is what we have to do. But the real fight here is the reset with China. The reset in being a member of a productive, united partnership with a country like ours and other countries, because they're not. One of the things that I've heard from, we have a mutual friend, Damon and I, Rex, he's involved in all the cybersecurity stuff. There's stuff that came out today that the China acknowledged their infrastructure hacks on our country.
Oh, yeah, I saw that story.
So they're admitting to these things. We knew it was them. Anybody who is in cybersecurity will tell you one thing. There's not a war coming. We're at war.
Without a doubt.
In the cybersecurity side. So you put all of this together. And then you made a comment earlier about Trump, and we were talking about Trump and Obama and how Trump was a little bombastic, maybe. He didn't say that in a negative way. He just that's his personality, right? How do you deal with them unless you're that? Unless they are convinced that you are going to take strong measures and hold it. Obama comes out or Bill Clinton comes out with this, or, Biden would never do it, but the China knows, I'm just going to wait it out. These guys are weak. We'll throw some money over here and do all this stuff. Trump is a whole nother animal. They've never dealt with a guy like this.
Without a doubt.
That's why it's important. He is bombastic, and aggressive, and maybe pounds the chest a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of an ego going on there, but you know what? He's earned it.
Well, what I said when this tariff thing started from Jump Street, and I still feel I think it's playing out. It was way well beyond saber rattling, right? This was stabbing and beheading. I mean, he went like full samurai. And obviously, I've been saying since I've been on the show anyway, everything is always a currency war. It's about currency dominance. It's about trade dominance. And we have been basically financing the whole globe.
Yeah.
Everybody's piggybacking off of your work ethic. Yep. Everybody's piggybacking off of your taxes, off of your consumption. And this had to end. The whole strategy of the New World Order and the neocon plan for one world government, that whole nonsense. But we're getting a New World Order.
Yeah.
And it's America first, New World Order. And that's that reset you're talking about.
That's the reset. The last point I want to make on this, and I definitely want to hear what you think about this, is one thing China has over us is patience. Mm-hmm. Look at the markets. Look at the hysteria on a day-to-day basis in this country over things. Oh, China just increased their tariffs. What do we ship to China? Can you tell me one product that you know of that we ship to China? I mean, I can't come up with one. Maybe there's
OnlyFans?
We ship OnlyFans. They won't even take OnlyFans. They won't take Facebook.
There's nothing.
Movies.
We ship senators.
We ship senators there. We make a lot of money. What do we care?
Members of Congress.
Can we take a second to that was so funny, it shocked me. That's real. That's perfect.
We do ship senators and corruption and everything else we can there. But they have patience. They will wait us out. So the tactics that Trump is taking now is trying to eliminate the waited out thing. But our own country, we are fighting Trump because we won't wait it out. We're not talking about years.
Well, we have a subversive left that's going to do everything in their power.
That's exactly right. And that's how China could be successful in this fight if we just can't wait it out. If people are freaking out every day about the markets going up, going down, this is going to cause that. Calm down. Mr. Wonderful said it well. This is going to settle. We have to do it. We have to reset here. We have no choice. We are in a bad position right now. And Trump's taking the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Now, what does everybody think about the scuttle out there that China's been dumping U.S. Treasuries, which is why you see the 10-year, where Scott Bessent really wanted to see the 10-year drop into the threes, and it did for a second. Now it's at, I think, 4.6.
Exactly what's happening.
And China, of course, is dumping U.S. Treasuries to try to put the pressure on that. What do you think about that, Vin? Because at some point, Scott Best is going to say, this is really not a good situation with the 10-year being around 4.6.
No, and that's
the Fed's going to have. We're going to have Fed intervention sooner than later if that continues.
I say a couple of things there. One, that is accurate. This is a bullet in the chest in their war chest that they can use against us, which is they're using it. On the other hand, we know it. We know they were going to do this. And we're going to force the Fed, like we've been trying to force the Supreme Court, to act. Trump wants the Fed to act and lower the interest rates. And knowing that this is going to happen, I heard someone talk about this today where we're not deliberately letting that happen, but we knew it was going to happen. And we're hoping the Fed knocks it down a quarter point and deals with it from there. But that's what China has on us. They can do that. So.
We have to run, but real quick, what's his name? Shamath Palapaya. He said that there is no way that strategy can work, and he believes that the market is so sharp and so balanced, no amount of that kind of attacks from a financial standpoint can change the waters overall.
I hope that's true.
All right, that's a wrap on a quick hour one. Hour two coming up live from Studio 6B from the America First Warehouse right after this.
Yeah,
chat. I missed the super chat. That guy gave us $17.76 earlier.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm going to just paraphrase. He said he hasn't been able to get on. He's been busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. So thank you very much. That guy, oh man.
Hey,
that guy. And Chris Parman in the chat, Big D, would like to know what make are your flip-flops? Who is what brand is that? Oh, you don't know?
I was going to say Goodyear.
Yes. Oh, Damon. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's like 50-50. Yep. Like half the segment, it's just like I don't know if it's I'm moving and I'm touching it and it's happening or what.
Reminds me of my prom night.
Okay, I mean, I'll pay attention to it now. I don't know.
It must be that too.
I want to get back to flip-flops here, can we?
Oh, let's talk to John Kerry.
Yeah.
I remember that guy flip-flopped more than anybody.
Oh, I know who is. You know who is flip-flop? Tory Birch.
Tory Birch.
Didn't she get whacked?
Yeah, I don't know. I think she just lost a handbag. I don't know what happened. But yeah, it's funny.
It's keeping a connection, so it's not.
I can hear you.
I mean, it just goes dead.
Yeah, you sound great.
A lot in that
Oh,
segment.
Big D, that guy.
Dead.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we got you. That guy says, Slixa, I've got 6 packages getting mailed out tomorrow. Uh-oh. Wonder what he's sending us. I got to get to the office.
6 packages? They created something?
They might be those small cigars with tariffs on them.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah, I keep hearing about these cigars.
When you say more, Slick, that makes it sound like there was an original.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
There was an original package. Didn't he give it?
Like Aaron, right now, it's like totally out.
This is a dag gang conspiracy.
What if there's a short? What if there's a short in this thing? I keep hitting it. I don't know. All right. I'm going to move it a little more to the left. All right. Well, right now it's okay. Delgado, what's that? Like 4 or 5 slices? Well, I mean, every break has been a slice. So
he hasn't eaten all day, the poor
5?
kid. Oh, did you bring his energy drinks? Oh, no, we're going to do that Monday.
Yeah, where's the Rev 7?
I'm interested in that.
It's in my fridge still.
It's in his long-term memory.
Must be nice to have food.
Oh, poor Fran didn't get a slice.
Well, you think Delgado would roll
Delgado,
one
do you
up there?
deliver? Is this Delgado or delivery? I mean, Del Giorno or delivery?
Del Giorno's too worried about piece number 6.
He took a bite of
Hour 2, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Welcome on in, everybody. We are live at the America First Warehouse, as we are each and every Friday night. Joe the Box and the whole crew here welcomes us in every Friday, and we so appreciate it. Glad you're in as well. Slick's doing sports. Vinnie Mac's got some thoughts. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Paul Nolan's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it together and holding it down on the big board as always. And of course, you, the live from Studio 6B audience, glad you're in. Of course, you give us 2 hours each and every night, and we do appreciate it. 8 to 10 weekdays right here on Real America's Voice. So we started the show with our report card. I thought that would be a little different change up to get everybody's thoughts on so let's go through some more here as we start hour 2, and then we'll do some sports since we didn't do any in that last segment. And you can give me quick grades here. We don't need to expound. A couple of them I want you to expound on what your thoughts are, but just give me some quick grades for some others. Let's go Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller, A++. Love
Paul?
Stephen Miller.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Slick?
Fly like an eagle. A+ for Stephen Miller.
And Vin?
Yeah, A+. He's the translator.
Yeah, A
Talking about a guy who could deliver the message, man.
Yeah,
I'm going
nobody
to call
better.
him the mailman.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Scott Besant.
Scott Besson, another A++, man. I didn't see this guy coming.
Off the chart.
Okay, Paul?
You know, so far, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know just yet. You know how I don't have a great deal of trust for these Wall Street guys.
Is this because of the Soros connection background back in the early days?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I mean, he's, you know, I don't know. I think he's one of those guys who's an opportunist. I don't know his intentions yet. I'm going to stick with incomplete.
Okay, Slick?
I'm going to go A+. I really like him. I mean, you know, in respect to Paul, but I like him.
Vin?
A lot.
I'm going A+ too. I thought he articulated the cause real well.
I'm going a solid A on Besson. I like Besson a lot so far.
All right, I'm glad you guys all trust him that much.
Pete,
Paul, can you sit in the corner, please, over there?
You know what? I didn't realize the Soros connection, but
that's a pump the brakes.
I think what we've seen when he takes on the media, he's been pretty strong.
Without a doubt. I mean, he's a great pitch man.
Yeah, articulator.
He's very smooth, calm. He keeps that almost evangelical flow to him when he's talking to these.
He's smart, though.
These
They can't
left-sided
outsmart him.
sycophants. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I like Victor David Hansen's view on him, so that's kind of, I want to believe in him. I really do, but
It's a fair point. Totally get it.
Yeah.
Aaron, I have absolutely no ears at this point, so just so you know. Pete Hegseth. Rick
Pete
Delgado.
Hegseth, I'm going to go with an A. I think he's doing a fine. He's off to a fine start, considering the headwinds he's had to deal with.
Yeah.
But you know what? Every time I see him talking to the troops, it just kind of builds more confidence in the job that he's doing.
All right, Paul Nolan, Pete Hegseth.
I thought that I guess you'll call it a debacle with whatever Signal.
Signalgate.
Yeah, that was.
I almost feel as though that was like when you send the fake text, the accidental text on purpose. You know that text where you send, "Hey, I think that guy's a great guy. I hope we can do business with him," and you accidentally on purpose send it to him. There was a whole TV show on that, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I feel like that was a big setup, so they had an excuse, an internal excuse. I don't know, something about the whole thing. I didn't like the way it played out for the media's sake. I'm going to give him a B.
Okay. Slick?
A.
Vin?
I give it an A, and also he's a guy that had a big hill to climb because of lack of experience and all that kind of stuff.
True.
And these guys, our military needed to be motivated. They needed a leader that had their back. So I give him an A for that reason. He has their back.
Okay, I had a B for Hegseth so far. Christy Nome.
Christy Nome?
Delgado?
I'm going to give her a B+.
Okay. Paul?
Yeah, I think a good
Fantastic
B+.
A+.
Paul's going to be an A+.
No, B. I'm going B.
Slick?
Yeah, I'll go B+ with her.
Vin?
I go B+, and I give her hairstyle an A. Her eye makeup an A.
A+.
So shiny.
Oh, and the cowboy hat, too.
Okay.
Silky.
All right, I go B. I go B for her. I don't know why she shows up on these places like she's going to be kicking indoors. Like, just let the ice guys do it and go like sit in the comfort, right? I mean, I don't really get that whole thing.
Talking
But
to the guy in the car the other day.
Yeah.
It's like,
I like it.
Marco Rubio. Rick
Marco
Delgado?
Rubio, I think I'm going to go with a solid B+. He seems to be carrying the itinerary and the policies of the Trump administration just the way they should be carried.
Paul?
Delightful surprise for me. I expected to give him an F by this point because I was not a neocon Rubio type of guy. He's without a doubt playing ball. He is fully aligned with Trump's mission. I'm going to give him a B because of my biases from the past, but if I was being more objective, I would say B+ or an A.
Slick?
Yeah, I like Rubio. I'll give him an A. He's doing good.
Vin?
Yeah, I'm with Paul on this because I expected less out of Rubio, and I give him an A+ because he's been everything we have wanted, and he has been in Trump's corner, articulate, and by the way, he's been taking on our foes and the media hardcore.
Yeah, he's done
hardcore. Yeah, he could have buried, but he didn't. So I give him an A+.
Okay.
I'm generous.
I mean, that's crazy.
You think that's crazy?
Robert Kennedy.
What did you give him, Rubio?
I think he's been a solid B. I mean, he's not been an A.
No, but I got B also. Okay.
Yeah. Robert Kennedy Jr. This is a big one. I'm interested to see where everybody stands.
I'm going to say A, and he's got a lot of room to get to that plus and then the plus. And we'll see what happens. And again, it all comes down to deliverables. What is he going to deliver?
Yeah.
He set a September date for knowing the causes of autism. That's a huge one. If he gets to that, that's A++. You know what?
Oh, forget it.
You don't have to come to class anymore.
That's Nobel Peace
You're going to get an A+ on the final. You don't have to show up for it. That kind of thing.
Paul?
Yeah, I mean, it's again, for me, it's incomplete because we haven't seen the results, but I like the fact that he is working diligently around the clock. He's done some nice things with the dyes in the food. He's really going after farmers. He's trying to fight these ridiculous ads that we're inundated with on news channels, which doesn't give us biased coverage. I'm going to give him an A at this point, but I could see this guy breaking records.
Slick?
Yeah, I'll give him an A-. I haven't seen quite enough yet, but I think he's on the right track. So I'll give him an A-. He deserves that A score, but just I need a little bit more.
Vin?
I'm with the incomplete on this one. I like him a ton, and I think he's got one of the hardest jobs of anybody in the administration because he not only has his administration, his whole area, he's got every privately funded scientific group and all these other cows that are out there that are corrupt. He's got a big thing to overcome. So incomplete, and I say that in a positive way
Hey, if I could
because I think he can do it.
Dave, can I piggyback on that? Because he's going up against lobby groups like corn, which is ethanol, which is sugars, which is feeds, animal stock feed, and the ethanol lobby, the corn lobby, he is going up against a Goliath on so many levels. So he could be
they all
one
face
of the greatest
that, but he in particular.
Oh yeah,
it's a mountain.
Yeah, especially the pharmaceutical lobby.
Oh, forget about it.
Oh my goodness,
it's just one after another.
Yeah.
The energy lobby, the pharmaceutical lobby, the war machine. He's up against them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give him a solid C right now for me. The other day he put out a tweet or a video. I don't know if it was, but the MMR vaccine now is, I guess, something that we're pushing. He said the best way, I forget what it was. He said something the other day that was very pro MMR vaccine, which surprised me that's now good. And the fact that mRNA hasn't even been addressed, for me, also not good. So I think while I agree with a lot of what you said, for me, he's in that C+ to C range. Somewhat of a disappointment for me right now.
And you are concerned with the mumps, measles, rubella, right?
Yeah.
And has there been a lot of problems with that one, though? I thought that has been
depending how you take it.
Okay, I thought that was considered effective so far. So am I missing something on that?
No, I don't know if you're missing anything. I just don't think that I don't think people thought that he was going to go in and be necessarily pro the vaccines, current vaccine schedule, current vaccines, your kid has to have 28 shots in his arm by the time he's 2-3 years old, whatever it is. Yeah, whatever the number is, it's way more than 28. I think that's what it was when my son was born.
I think it's up to 72 now.
No, the number's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How do you pump kids with all of that? That's insanity.
Well, just to make it definitive, he made a pretty definitive statement that the best and only way to do any of this stuff was by vaccine, which was just a little surprise.
And for this particular thing.
Well, I missed that.
Yeah.
across the board. Because I think he's been consistent there, because he said, look, I'm not against all vaccines. I want to research them so I see what ones work and which ones don't work. The fact that they shove all this down our throats is his issue.
Right.
And I think in his context of what you're talking about, Damon, it was, I think this one works. That's all. That's where I think he's coming from.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There's the big ones. We don't do. Well, let's do sports now, and then we'll save the big ones for later. That's of course Patel, Bongino, and Bondi. I want to get to them and Waltz. Those are our last four, but let's do sports right now since we didn't do it. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, My Pillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, well, Steelers legend Terry Bradshaw reportedly helped save plane passengers after door jams on runway. This is Chris Seawick of Yahoo Sports. There's a common trope in media where a pilot or flight attendant asks some variation of the line, is there a doctor on the plane? Scriptwriters may need to consider changing the occupation to former NFL quarterback after Pittsburgh Steelers legend Terry Bradshaw reportedly came to the rescue on a flight. Bradshaw allegedly helped save passengers who were trapped on a plane after its door jammed on the runway. According to Ricky Sayre of KDKA in Pittsburgh, Sayre spoke to someone on the plane who said Bradshaw helped open the door, allowing passengers to exit the plane after a half hour on the runway. The 76-year-old Bradshaw was reportedly sitting in the front row on the flight. He was on his way to Pittsburgh to attend a roast for former Steelers teammate Mel Blount. Per Sayre, the roast is scheduled for Friday. Passengers sat on the runway for roughly 30 minutes before the plane door opened. The pilot announced a passenger helped get the door open. While the pilot didn't mention Bradshaw by name, the rest of the passengers knew what happened. It's a far cry from the time Bradshaw was delivered for the city of Pittsburgh. He won 4 Super Bowls as a member of the Steelers in the 1970s. Bradshaw, who also took home the 1978 NFL MVP award, waltzed into the Hall of Fame shortly after his career ended in 1983. He's considered one of the best Steelers of all time, probably the best. These days, Bradshaw is recognized more for his broadcasting prowess. He appears every week on Fox's pregame show during the NFL season, a role he's held since 1994. After Thursday's heroics, he may want to consider a return to the field. He might be 76, but it looks like Bradshaw's arm is just as strong as ever. I don't think he wanted to shoulder the responsibility of not getting those people out of the plane. No, good stuff there. That was really cute. So, Terry Bradshaw helping out the folks. All right, Big D, I got another story about NFL reportedly fires 3 officials and relegates them to college football, but I'll run that when we got time in the next one because we're just about to the end of the segment here. That's a wrap.
All right, Slick, very good. Just to be specific on what he said the most effective way to prevent the spread of measles is the MMR vaccine. That's what he said, specifically in his paragraph. And I think most people said, well, where's the double-blinded study that shows that that this vaccine is the best way to spread the to back that statement up?
I remember having a measles party, chickenpox party. You guys remember those days?
Yeah, because some would argue that maybe not.
I never had chickenpox.
I don't know if I had it.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Yeah. All right, Mr. AZ Mikey in the YouTube Super Chat, $5. Thank you very much, Mr. AZ Mikey.
Aaron, I got to lose this pack. It's more distracting than anything else.
AZ Mikey, what did I say? AZ Mikey, yeah. Never doubt Chris Allen and his awesomeness, and don't YouTube timeout people. Papa Nolan is the only Trump earner here.
Networks.
Love your chat. Go Trump. Papa Nolan is the only trunk earner. What kind of trunk do you earn in? You're a trunk earner, Paul?
Yeah, buddy.
Come on.
Somebody get the GIMP.
He's not a trunk earner. He's a treasure.
Get the GIMP. Oh, man.
Les Durham.
You remember the first time watching that movie?
I'm wondering if
And that scene happened. Like,
That scene.
This one's doing it right now. Too. Like right
Every
now,
time
it's
I'm
nothing.
I'm surfing and that scene's coming, you stop.
I love that movie.
And Bruce Willis.
Like right now, look,
was fantastic, wasn't he?
you can see the green going in
That
and out.
movie to me plays like a rock album.
Yeah,
Like every scene.
the problem is it's
like
so
a different
distracting.
tune.
I'd rather
He's
use
so
no
great.
ears.
Oh, another $10
It's
from
so
that guy.
distracting.
The
That
YouTube.
guy with the cigars would never got any of them.
Slickster, the tariffs have been paid on all packages and no need for customs to put their grimy mitts on them. Uh-oh, Paul, I think we got more cigars coming from that guy.
Address him to me, that guy.
Yeah, well, tell Big D. Big D, you hear that one? No, he's busy with
Hey, Devin, you got reads
That's
here,
fine.
just so you know.
That's fine. I can do it without.
He's got an impacted tooth.
I just got to watch the clock. Or Aaron.
You have
talk to
reads.
him.
You got reads coming up.
You got reads.
Yep.
And we got cigars coming too, Big D. That guy in the super give us a super chat.
No. You guys don't have cigars. He said that for me this time.
Keep your feet on the ground and
Paul,
keep smoking cigars.
I'm the one who. I think they come to me. I'll piece you off a box. Don't worry.
Hi, I'm Casey
What
Kasem.
kind of,
Slick, anything that comes to the show, you bring to me.
Swedish
The boss.
Let's
The
get
boss
it-
is listening.
Let's get it straight.
I thought you were still straightening out your pack.
I'm trying, but it's beyond repair.
I think somebody's sending you a sense
What
of
am I
humor in a
doing?
box.
TWCBG? Okay.
Anyone else's back, kill him.
Oh, man, I think I
What'd
got
you say?
singed on that one.
What'd you say, Slick?
I said somebody's sending you a sense of humor. They said in the chat in the box because you said you weren't getting any jokes.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. What's one pay plus one pay?
To pay.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
And there's going to be hell to pay with that comment. Oh boy. Talk about singed eyebrows.
You could do a better puns than him. I've never seen
No,
anything.
he's a
like
master.
I've never seen anything like it.
He's a master.
I got more puns than Montezuma's got runs.
Dude, I had a friend. My friend Kurt was great at him.
Yeah.
I mean, as good as it got. And now he's an
They
embarrassment
just
to
fly
him.
off, too. Slick does them. They just.
I sound like the blues on a Friday night. Let me talk to you about our friends at the Wellness Company. It's a new day in America and a new administration in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of excitement and optimism about the future, but the reality is there's still a lot of work to do, especially when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. The truth is that the forces that are responsible for breaking our healthcare system aren't going to simply go away. The challenges our system faces won't disappear overnight. Now more than ever, you need to be prepared. And of course, that's where the Wellness Company comes in. You know the Wellness Company. Their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their line of prescription medical kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Whether it's the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, or the travel kit, these prescription kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of all the meds. From flu to strep throat, from COVID to bird flu, from a trip to the beach to a trip overseas, the Wellness Company has a prescription kit designed to keep you and your family safe. Make America healthy again starts at home. Do your part. Protect the health of you and your family. Go to twc.health/voice, www.twc.health/voice today in order. You can use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. That's twc.health/voice and use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. Well, tariffs have thrown the global economy into chaos. Potential widespread inflation tied to a massive supply chain disruptions is weighing heavily on all of us, but there is a silver lining that most people have missed. And that, of course, President Trump specifically exempted gold and silver bullion from these sweeping tariffs. While these new policies are triggering significant financial chaos, the administration preserved your ability to diversify your savings into precious metals. If you're concerned about your savings, I encourage you to have a free consultation with our friends from the Birch Gold Group. And Birch Gold and the Precious Metal Specialist will do it. The first step is to text America to 989898. Receive your free, no-obligation information kit on gold. Learn how to hold gold and silver in a tax-sheltered account. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold for no money out of pocket. You can buy your gold from Birch Gold, and I think it's finally time you look into it. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, thousands of thankful customers. You can text America to the number 989898 right now. Again, text the word America to 989898 to get your free information kit on gold from our friends at Birch Gold, and do it right now. All right, 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news. Rick Delgado has the news. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, there's a story that's been kind of bugging me, Damon, for the past, a few weeks. And I've kind of put some things together here to kind of link it all together and let me know what you think. I'm calling this my special report. The storm, has it arrived? Well, let's find out. Over the past week, it's actually started years ago when Trump said, if you remember, that he caught them all, right? Famous quote, yeah. He said he caught them all. But unfortunately, we've never seen what he says that they have, and not one of these criminal D.C. bureaucrats has been brought out in handcuffs or charged, right? Well, now it seems that all may have changed, as Elon and the DOGE team have continued to uncover waste, fraud, and abuse throughout the government. I think I've got the same question everybody else does. Where are the arrests? Right?
Yeah, they're coming, I hope.
The same way kids don't pedophile themselves, money doesn't steal itself.
Yep.
So that makes you wonder what gives. Well, now we might have an answer, and it's been kind of dripping out. I don't know if you'd agree, but it's almost like they're prepping the field for this. Remember last month, March 2nd, I played a clip from Elon with Joe Rogan where he said, and I quote, "I actually have to be careful that I don't push too hard on the corruption stuff because this will get me killed."
Yeah.
End quote. Well, after that, things got quiet. But then last week, what did President Trump say? And I made sure we played the clip. And it wasn't a slip. I think he did this on purpose. He wanted people to know that they found something. You can call it a tease, a cliffhanger, what have you. It's cut number 11. But here's what it is. And see if you remember cut number 11, what Trump said. Check this out.
Found hundreds of, think of it, just hundreds of, found millions of dollars of fraud and abuse and waste.
Here it comes.
And they're still going, they're going strong. They found something today that's horrible. It's horrible. So what they found, well, you'll find out very soon. What they found is incredible.
Yeah.
I remember you ran this last week. Yeah.
It's terrible, right? Again, to me, my theory here, Damon, this is not a slip. I think he did this with purpose. Much like when he truths out something or misspells it, he does it for a reason. He wants to draw your attention to it. So then what happens next? Caroline Leavitt. We all know her, press secretary. Yep. We played a couple clips from her earlier today. She got asked a question in the press briefing room the other day about exactly what Donald Trump said on Air Force One. Here it is. Here's cut 7. Caroline Leavitt, again, addressing what Trump had said on Air Force One, cut number 7. Check this out.
And then the president on Thursday told us that there was an incredible discovery that the DOGE team had made. He called it horrible and incredible. Can you reveal that yet? Give us details on what it was about?
There has been a discovery. I hate to leave you hanging on a cliff, but I don't want to get ahead of the president on that. But I can confirm there has been a discovery. It's just not quite yet ready for release.
Yeah. So there you have it from the press secretary answering the question, what did they find? She's not going to tell you, but she says it's something big, right?
Yeah. They have to be thoughtful, too, about this. Like, they have to investigate. They have to be thoughtful. They got to figure this out more than, like, holding it back.
Right.
You know?
So then what happens the very next day? One of our favorites, Tim Burchett, on with Benny Johnson, and this is important. Benny was quoting something that Elon had said. Referring to Chuck Schumer, where basically Elon accuses Chuck Schumer of, let's say, diverting money. And when asked about this, here it is, cut 12. Here is Tim Burchett, and listen to what he has to say here in cut 12. Again, we played this the other day, but check it out again.
Musk saying today to Chuck Schumer, "I'm starting to think that you're getting a piece of the action with all the government fraud. That couldn't possibly be true, could it? Congressman, you must know something about this. Has Elon discovered something about Chuck Schumer, his family?
I'd say he's probably discovered something about everybody. Elon's got that paper trail, and he told us in the meeting, our little private meeting, there's a paper trail and it's going back to Washington, D.C. And dadgummit, somebody better be let out of one of these buildings in handcuffs.
Yeah. Again.
Big time.
Again,
isn't that also a clip we played before?
Yes.
Yep.
Again, I'm linking them all together because I feel
Played
like
that earlier this week.
they've been kind of prepping the field, getting everybody ready for something that's coming, and then
what's coming? Like a strongly worded letter, you think? Or
I think named names are coming, David.
I think it's going to be 2 St. Bernards in heat.
Okay.
I think names are going to start coming out. And then we get this from Tim Burchett, where I found this in a committee clip, cut number 13, where he asks a witness a very direct question about spouses of members of Congress owning property. Here, check this out, cut 13.
Okay, do spouses of members of Congress own real property and lease it to the federal government? And how would we find that out? Because I think I know what you're going to say.
I believe the answer to that question is yes.
You do?
I do believe that.
Was there any way we could verify that information?
Well, you go to USA Spending and search, you open the books, our website, and you can look up members' names, you can look up any person's name, and find that information.
All right. I suspect that's being done as I speak.
Yeah.
How much would the federal government save by allowing unneeded leases to expire?
The federal government spends about $6 billion on leased office space, so depending on how many you let expire, you get substantial savings.
Yeah, so there you have it. That leads us to today, where Burchett on X is quoted as saying there's going to be lots of retirements. Elon, of course, posting about investigating members of Congress just the other day who have amassed a lot of wealth in a very short amount of time. I'm just saying, Damon, I think the storm has arrived. I think this is what we've been waiting for.
Oh, man, I hope so.
I mean, you know how I feel about this. I just, I think, I don't think nothing's arrived. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Here's the problem.
Okay.
The problem is that both sides do it, because as easily as you could try to draw a picture and try to draw a line to Schumer or something else, you're going to have those on the left, those on the right don't want to criminally prosecute the ones on the left, and the ones on the left are going to say, okay, well, let's look into how many people knew that Trump was going to put a 90-day pause on these tariffs, and everything shot up because we can see the call options. Oh, they all came in 2 hours before he put a thing. They're all doing it. None of them are going to turn on each other. The whole thing is going nowhere.
Club and you ain't in it.
Big D's a storm pooper.
Exactly. As soon as they catch
How's the Epstein list looking today while we're on the subject?
They're going to catch up on that as soon as they.
It's a whitewash.
I'm telling you, I'm putting together, I'm connecting the dots here.
You're doing something.
That's why a guy like Elon's important, though, because he doesn't have a dog in the fight. You know?
Right.
So he might very well just bury them all.
Damon, can you see the clock?
He doesn't have the ability to bury them all.
Yeah, he can see the clock. It's right in front of us.
Yep.
He can expose them. He can
You can
publish
see the
it
clock,
publicly,
right?
force things to happen, right?
Yeah, you can see it.
Retirements.
Listen, I hope you're right, especially when it comes to people like Schumer, but I just don't think
You
it's
know what it
happening.
was? Aaron was getting alarmed that he didn't see the clock.
Country of ours is moving very rapidly in the direction of oligarchy. The United States of America.
This is
sure if that was me. I was
have
like,
you seen this clip?
Can't even hear that guy talk, man. Just
He's been doing this.
Larry David. Oligarchy. He just likes that word, oligarchy.
I love when he says oligarchy, like Muhammad Ali Garki.
I'll take oligarchy for 500, Bob. Yeah. Go.
Oligarchy.
Oligarchy.
This is
From someone who's never had a job
right.
in his life.
Ever.
And suddenly...
Worth $100 million.
$100 million?
No, I know he's not that much.
That's a nice round number. No,
Damon, can you
he's
hear
worth
me?
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Damon.
Damon, can you hear me?
No, he's got his ears out.
Are you hearing the speakers?
I mean, barely.
Okay, well, that's the problem then.
Yeah, there you go, and that's better.
Okay, so I have Trump's press gaggle on Air Force One, and it's 8.5 minutes.
All right.
Okay, so let's roll it.
Yeah, do it here.
Let's just roll it from the top. Don't even come to us. Let's just roll it.
No, you should introduce it that happened earlier tonight because people don't know about it.
All right, you got it.
1 minute.
Thank you.
That's good. That'll give me
It's a good segment for it.
Pizza time.
8 minutes to get a drink.
That's right.
Roll it full.
Did you bring the bourbon?
Yeah, Joe's going to break the hard stuff out now.
Shirley Temples for everyone.
Shirley Temples. The America
I really
First
think
Warehouse.
Friday nights, every time someone says,
We probably should have the audio in the house. We should start to get used to the level it's going to be.
Good point, Big Dig.
There's some engineering work that needs to happen first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one thing from the election we didn't have quite nailed.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B at the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. Glad you're in. Vinnie Max here. He's going to do some more news. Slick's doing sports. Paul Nolan and Rick Delgado here doing news as well. President Trump did a press gaggle on Air Force One as they make their way down for the weekend, I believe. I guess he's on his way to Florida. He did a press gaggle, as he seems to always do. Of course, he loves to engage and talk to the media there in the back of the plane, and he did it again tonight. This happened just a little while ago, earlier here in the hour. So if you haven't seen it, here it is. Here's the president from earlier today. Roll that.
Hello, everybody. Just got back from Walter Reed. I'm with you, but I think, as you can imagine, there for a long time, the yearly physical. I think I did well. I think they're releasing the report on Sunday. Doctors, highly respected doctors, great place, amazing place.
Did they give you any suggestions or advice that anything you need to change up?
A little bit, but overall I think I felt I was in very good shape. Good heart, a good soul. I wanted to be a little different than I took a cognitive test, and I don't know what to tell you other than I got every answer right. I took just a lot of different tests having to do with the heart, having to do with other things. I think you'll find that they're going to release the report on Sunday. I think you'll find it.
Can you tell us what the cognitive test is? That bad what a person can repeat?
It's I think it's a pretty well-known test. Whatever it is, I got it all. As I've done about 4 times. And I've taken the cognitive test, I think, 4 times, and I've got nothing wrong. That's what the American people want. Biden refused to take it. Kamala refused to take it. I think most of them refused to take it, but I don't refuse to take it. What else?
Ask about what you thought of the markets today and this week.
Which one?
The markets this week and the
I
reaction.
think the markets were solid today. I think people are saying we're in great shape. We have making a lot of money as a country now, for the first time in a long time. We were losing billions of dollars a day, and now we're making billions of dollars a day. That's a big difference. And we then brought it down to 10%. And so that made it a little bit less, but I did that because I wanted to be fair to other people, other countries.
Is it up to President Xi to pick up the phone or to make
I guess so.
All right, well.
If that was at all audible, you would
President
have found it
was
interesting.
a little hard to hear there, so.
It was like Charlie Brown's father. What was that?
Yeah, well, we thought that was prepped and ready to air, but obviously it's not with that kind of audio, so what can you do? So
much for the pizza break. What the hell happened there?
Pizza break out.
Wow.
Pizza break out the window.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's
so,
it.
there was something in the New York Post that I thought everybody would be interested in, and well, because we keep talking how the Democrats really they've decided that what got them to where they are now, what they need to do is to double down.
Oh, good.
Please
on
be
what they've done the last 4 years, and we see that by people like AOC and Jasmine Crockett taking the lead as the Democrats, kind of vocal supporters out there. And I see this today in the New York Post that just kind of made me chuckle. James Clyburn, of course, from South Carolina, who's really responsible for reviving Biden back in the day and back in 2019 when it was pretty much 2020 when the campaign was dead and over. They couldn't even get the bus to start up. as he was on his way to South Carolina. And Clyburn really is the one who revived that whole thing and sent Biden obviously on to the nomination. Well, Clyburn's out tonight saying, don't worry, Kamala Harris was actually a great candidate. Her campaign is what failed her.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was ill-served by the campaign, Vin.
Yeah.
Not that she was a failed candidate. And if she runs for governor or if she wants to run again as the presidential nominee, it will be the campaign that needs to change, not the candidate. The candidate was fine.
If cackling was an award, she would get a gold medal.
If what?
Cackling was an award, she'd get a gold medal.
Yeah.
She couldn't spit out a complete sentence if it were laid out in front of her in capital letters and a giant boards in front of her. She just is incapable. Terrible candidate. Where's he coming from with this?
He said former VP Kamala Harris was a great candidate who was ill-served by her campaign team. The Democratic congressman was responding to CNN anchor Kate Bolden, asking about a New York Times report which said that since Harris's loss in the 2024 election, the former vice president has been mulling over another bid for the White House or entering the 26 California gubernatorial race.
Yeah.
Clyburn said he wasn't going to advise Harris on her next steps, but praised her as a tremendous talent
This is the Babylon Bee.
who had been let down by her campaign staff during the presidential race. He said, I will say this. I think that she's a tremendous talent. I think she ran a great campaign. I think she was ill-served in that campaign by people who should have listened to some of us who saw and felt things.
Oh,
they felt.
What they feel? Gas.
Well, then the next sentence, you get a little nervous when you talking about feeling things. The next sentence is, listen to Bill Clinton when he told them what was going on. Listen to me when I told them what was going on in these rural communities they were going into. I knew what we needed to do, and yet her campaign was not doing it. She was a great candidate, and I think she'll make a great candidate in the future, whatever she decides to run for, but I'm not going to give any advice as to whether or not she should or should not run. This is where they're at.
You gotta be
she's a terrible candidate. That's the thing. They don't remember she already tried this trick once before and was the first one out of the race.
Less than 1%.
Yes,
Not even last.
Because even Democrats didn't like her enough.
Here's what she
A
couldn't do.
dog doesn't like her enough.
Right.
She had no original thought. So if you're a candidate in any capacity for any party, you need some original thought.
That implies she actually has a thought.
Well, maybe she has no thoughts, but she has no original thoughts. So everything had to be packaged, and she couldn't even deliver that.
Yeah. Even when it was all spelled out for her, she could not deliver the script the way it was written. And she couldn't connect with. She doesn't connect with people. She does not connect. That's one of the things that you can't train somebody to connect with people on a personal level. Trump, say what you want about him. This guy connects with everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what social class you come from, what economic class you come from. He seems to find something where he connects with people.
Insincerity.
Yes.
You can't
He's salt of the earth.
You can see right through that.
I mean, just listen to James Carville. Even he said, and he's a Democrat, you can't be putting the seventh string quarterback into the game.
Yep.
That's what he called Calamity Harris, the seventh string quarterback.
Carmella?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a New York Post today. It's just a...
You know, I think you might have a point, D, because I think she didn't win because we're all racist and we don't want a black woman as president.
Well, there's that.
Well, yeah.
It had nothing to do with her brain dead inability to speak, to articulate a thought, to come across even
That's the elephant in the room there.
Had nothing to do with the fact she was half drunk on most of the occasions you see her on television.
Yeah.
She really was a fantastic.
That certainly is an interesting take. Yeah, it's an interesting take by him, I'll tell you that.
Roll her out in 3 years.
Maybe they just didn't give her enough Venn diagrams to show people so they could understand.
That was my favorite.
How smart she really was.
When she would learn something, and then she would repeat it everywhere because she was like a little 9-year-old.
Well,
Like, Mommy, look what I learned.
There was a clip of a response to her when she was on The View, and they asked, would you do anything different than Joe Biden? Her staff has said, we coached her on this answer. She had a whole nother answer. We went over it. We worked it. And her answer was, no. She couldn't think on her feet, even if she had the answer package.
She couldn't think anywhere other than on her back.
Just her
Joe
as
Brown,
president.
enter the room.
All right, let's get to the last part of our report card here for a Friday night report card, because these are the ones that I'm most interested in seeing what people think. And that is, of course, the FBI, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, and then, of course, Pam Bondi, Mike Waltz. Let's start with Waltz. What's the grade you give Mike Waltz so far?
I'm going to go with a C.
Okay, Paul?
C.
Rick?
C.
Vinny?
Wow, yeah, I'm with the guys on this one. I'm not seeing it yet.
Signal Gate C.
Yeah, I would.
I think that's probably fair. I think some would go D or F, quite frankly, as well. But
ouch, that hurt.
President Trump said, he had a chance. Obviously, had a chance to get rid of him. President Trump stood by him. I think he sees some.
That's a low grade.
Waltz as these guys served the country. He's, obviously, just got caught up in a bad situation here. But we'll see. Let's go to the FBI. Kash Patel. And this is a tough one for me. I don't even know. I don't even know if I can put something on it. And I definitely don't think I could put anything on Bongino. But what do you think about Kash?
I think I'm going to go B to maybe a B plus.
Okay.
I think he's doing what he can right now. I think he's putting on a good face, to this pig that he's got to deal with. But there's a lot of work there to be done. I mean, he did lead that raid that made that big bust yesterday in Florida, which is great. But again,
they've nabbed a lot of the most wanted. They've done some things.
They've done some
Paul,
things.
what's the grade?
Yeah, they've done some big
one
busts.
yesterday,
They've
right?
done like that porn,
Huge one.
That demented demon ring, great, all that stuff. But again, it almost feels like an incomplete to me because we were kind of hoping that there'd be a museum in D.C. for all these deep state, scammers. But I like Kash. I believe in Kash. I think him and Dan Bongino are above reproach. I'm going to give him a B plus just because I trust him, respect him, and I think he's doing his due diligence.
Slick, Kash, and Bongino.
Yeah,
the FBI.
They need time. We live in a world of instant gratification. The guys are in there 2 months. Come on, I'll give him a B plus.
Okay, very good. Vinnie Mac.
Incomplete. He's got a mountain to climb because our expectations are cleaning house, like we've seen the dirty deeds they've all been out after. Sure, he had a couple of good wins, but man, not even close to what my expectations are. I think all of our expectations. It's incomplete. Not to say that he won't get there.
He'll get there.
But I'm
Okay, I see a lot of people in the chat agreeing with you guys, like a B. Some saying A because there's a lot we don't know or can't see. So they're with you. All right, most interesting one for me by far is the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. Delgado, grade.
All right. First, let me mention Bongino.
Or should we do our Epstein update for the day first?
Let me just say Bongino I didn't mention, but I'm gonna say incomplete because we just don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. He put a big tweet out today that I'll get to here in a second.
All right.
So Pam Bondi, ooh boy, I hope she studies for this test because she doesn't look like she's prepared. I'm gonna go C minus.
Okay.
And she gets the benefit of the doubt over the D because, she's Paul's favorite.
8.7. Oh wait, we're doing the wrong rating system. Sorry.
Wrong dive.
Oh, my bad.
Not Miss America contest.
Go to break. I'll just say a C.
Okay. We'll get the last grades on Pam Bondi, and I'll tell you what Dan Bongino put out live from Studio 6B. We'll wrap it up for a Friday right after this.
Trash man in the agrees with me. He said her looks make up for it. Jill Green said Paul loves Pam. Paul and Pam sitting in a tree. Kissing. All right.
Did you guys leave any pizza, by the way?
Hey, Jack, we're only at 323 likes. Can you give us some love over there, please? There's a lot of incompletes. I agree with the chat. I think a lot of people in the chat agree with
Pam is hard to gauge right now because, like Cash, the expectation, she's got a mountain to climb, too. I hope she climbs it, and I expect she will.
Yeah. I'm honestly stunned that the left is double down. So many of them are doubling down on Kamala.
Jesse Waters played the whole 8 minutes of Trump's gaggle.
Who has more makeup, Jesse Waters or Kamala?
Yeah. Drag Black, a $5 super chat. Damon's let the others dominate the show tonight. Filibuster Damon, matter forever.
Hello.
Okay.
Check, please.
How am I filibustering? What does that mean?
I guess they say you're being a little passive tonight. Quiet.
Well, that's not filibustering.
Well, you're also asking
filibustering is never shutting up. That's what I normally do.
You're asking four other guys.
That's what I normally
Not
do.
doing it tonight at all.
For grades. Anyway, I'm just reading the super chat. That wasn't Slick Rick's opinion. All right. So I got the super chat there, Jesus Perez. My man.
Anyway, thank Drag Black for sending us some cash. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, Drag Black is good people.
Yeah, he's every night now. He's dumping money, and it's great. Appreciate it.
Slick looks like a 1970s lazy boy recliner.
Listen, read the ones where they tell you how good I look. You know, I mean, you got a couple of these fashionistas in here, probably, 85-year-old guys that were sitting there in their Fruit of the Loom underwear watching this show on their damn recliner.
That is some
Come on, man.
description.
With coffee stains on their wife beater, and they're telling me what fashion is.
That
Okay,
is
come on.
Some description. Wow. Here's the story.
Touchy Riz.
1970s.
Jesus Perez is asking Damon who's going to do your nails. I'm assuming toenails.
Well, we'll have a pedicurist here shortly.
Sarge, I'm with you, Sarge. Sarge, Arby says Bondi has a mountain to climb, and that mountain is named Papa Nolan. I can get down with that, brother.
Oh, my God.
Paul, go get a drink.
It sounds like he's had 2 or 3.
I just need a cup of ice cold water.
He's
Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, America First Warehouse, Real America's Voice, and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Glad you're in on a Friday. We'll wrap it up. We'll try to get to everybody. We've been given a administration report card tonight, kind of a look at where we think everybody is, and we're up to Pam Bondi. And I'll just one more time, Delgado, you were what, a C minus?
I was a C minus. She got the C because Paul likes her.
Paul, what was your grade?
I gave her a C.
Slick Rick, what do you got?
Yeah, I would say C is good.
Okay, Vinnie Mac?
She's incomplete for me. She's got a mountain to climb. She's 3 for 4 with court rulings, which is pretty good.
Yep.
But she's got a mountain to climb, just like Cash. I put them in the same bucket, so I'm hoping that they both deliver. But they've got a lot to do.
I think it's hard to put a grade on either of them because I don't think any of us understand the mountain that they try to climb and what they walked into. Dan Bongino tonight. I think hearing or at least being aware on social media, Bongino's definitely pushing people within the department to use social media in a different way. He keeps referring to that, and he did tonight as well. And he put this out, and he said, I want to put out some updates from FBI headquarters. He said, major initiatives are underway to ensure your neighborhoods and communities are noticeably safer. While we remain focused on all of our missions, counterterrorism, countering foreign intelligence efforts, federal crime, we are working overtime across the country to take violent criminals, gang members, drug pushers, and the scum abusing our children off of the streets. They are doing incredible damage, and the director and I want them in prison or deported, absolutely no excuses. The director and I have instructed our leaders in the field offices to use their social media accounts, local television, podcasts, radio, to communicate to you the results of these significant operations. I encourage you to follow the local FBI field office's social media accounts, and you will see the results for yourself. We're not doing this to create media celebrities. We're doing this because we work for you, and you deserve to see and hear what your hard-earned money is being used for. And then the third paragraph says this. The director and I are working on a number of initiatives to ensure that the mistakes of the past are never repeated. Everything from recruiting to evaluation to training is being scrubbed and reviewed. We fully understand that some of the actions and initiatives we've taken may not immediately appear to fit into the puzzle, but accountability requires three things: people, information, and people with information. I'll say again, I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to look at the results. And those results will continue to pour out of the FBI. What do you think, Vin?
I think that's great. I mean, at first, I appreciate the communication. And I think he's answering what we've been speculating, which is there's a lot going on, folks.
Right.
Okay? Safety, all these pieces, there's just a lot going on. And we just can't spit it all out. But we're going to ask our locals to do a little bit of that. So you're hearing, what's going on. That's one of probably the biggest challenges.
Yeah.
Is the communication of what they're actually doing.
80 years of despicable corruption. It's a lot to unravel.
Yeah. All right, let's try to get to everybody here one last time. Slick, I'll start with you. Anything else in sports we need to touch on?
Just a quick sweep of the scoreboard. Big D, just give you a couple of quick highlights tonight. Penguins over the Devils 4-2. Wild taking on the Flames at 10 p.m. Red Wings in OT beat the Lightning 4-3 down in Tampa. The Knicks right now losing to the Cavs 97-96 with 4:41 in the fourth. Boy, they erased a big deficit. The Cavs, they're down by like 21. And the Heat over the Pelicans 116-76 with 10 to go there in the fourth. Round 3 tomorrow morning, Big D, in Augusta, Georgia. We'll get a big wrap-up on that Monday night. We'll have a full report on the golf outing.
All right, very good, Slick. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use at MyPillow. Paul, anything else on your news headlines radar there?
No, we kind of covered everything today.
All right.
There's a handful of things I thought were interesting. I did want to talk a little bit briefly about it. If anyone hasn't seen the Rogan, Douglas Murray and Dave Smith had a debate. And Douglas Murray, who I think is pretty cool and smart, really embarrassed himself. So if you haven't checked out some of the clips from that, it was
Douglas Murray embarrassed himself.
Douglas Murray made a fool of himself.
Well, I heard just the opposite. All right, we'll have to watch that. Delgado, anything else on your news plate?
Yeah, I got something because I know you love the polls, Damon. So I've got another poll for you, again, from one of our favorite guys who loves to jump up and down about his polls. I'm talking about Harry Enton on CNN. Here he is, cut number 6.
I love this
talking
guy.
about the new shocking numbers. That, again, way in Trump's favor. Here's cut number 6. Check it out for yourself, Harry Enton, CNN.
I truthfully have seen this year, or maybe in any prior year.
Really?
Yes, really, because I want you to take a look.
Really?
Cares more about the needs for people like you. You mentioned it, Kate Ball. We got a tie, even after this tariff war had already started, split between Democrats and Republicans on how people feel. Which party cares more for needs of people like you? And why is that so surprising? Because I want you to take a look at prior years. Democrats always lead on this question. Back in 2017, before the 2018 midterms, 13-point lead. 2005, a 23-point lead for Democrats. 1994, which was a big Republican year, a 19-point lead for Democrats. And now, all of a sudden, a tie? All of a sudden, the Democrats, who are the party of the people, no more. We get a tie on this question, on a question that has traditionally overwhelmingly been a Democratic advantage. Which party cares more for the needs of people like you? It's truly something I would not have expected to see, especially after this tariff war had begun.
Yeah, so there you have it.
How long is this guy going to be working at CNN, do you think?
Not much longer.
Oh, my God. I was thinking this guy's got a spot on Fox.
He's got a musical on Broadway coming out.
He's got a pink slip waiting for him.
He's going to do quite well.
Yeah, so there you have it. Harry Enton proving again that numbers don't lie, Democrats do.
Ooh.
So there you have it.
All right, very good.
CNN.
Vinnie Mac, anything else to take us home here?
Yeah, I do. RFK was talking quite a bit today about his mission to really figure out what's going on with autism, by September. And some of the things he said today I thought were pretty interesting. One, and granted, diagnosis when we were probably kids was probably much harder and not as relevant as it is now, right? But 1 in 10,000 kids had autism when probably we were kids. Then it was 1 in 39 just a couple of years ago. It's 1 in 31 now. This is a staggering number. And he attributes it to a 500% increase due to fluoride in the water. And we all grew up with fluoride in the water. This is supposed to be a good thing. But I happen to know a lot about fluoride because I have a toothpaste product I'm involved in with the natural fluoride. But the chemical fluoride is dangerous. It's like poison for you. Anybody doing research about these products, like in toothpaste, which is very similar to what they're putting into the water, it's chemically created fluoride. It's really bad for you. And he has connected a 500% increase in autism due to fluoride. They did A and B test. No fluoride water and the stats, and fluoride water and the stats. So I give him a lot of credit because this is a mountain to cover in terms of figuring this out. Why hasn't it been figured out? Why haven't resources been dedicated to really understand a major critical thing in our society when children, 1 in 31 children have this, and they're great kids. There's a place in Port Washington where they make T-shirts and so on, Spectrum Design. I saw that. It's all autistic kids. I've been affiliated with them, helping them for years, and they're great. Their workers are great. They make a great product. The efficiency's there. It's a fantastic place. So these kids are functioning and everything's, pretty good there. But the problem is when you go from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 31, it's outrageous. I mean, it is sickening to hear that. So I give RFK, real kudos for that. We were just talking about his grade. Well, here's something that, could put him right up to an A+, frankly, if he does this with other things. So a great story today.
Well,
and watch your toothpaste, by the way.
Without a doubt.
Watch what you put in your mouth.
Fluoride, raving about that forever, but I'm really still praying to God that I get my chance to build an adult community for people with autism who don't have parents and don't have loved ones who can take care of them, and they're going to need places to work with fulfillment centers and communities.
Yep, great idea.
All right, as always, I want to thank everybody at the America First Warehouse, Joe, the Box, Martin, the whole staff here, crew. They're always so welcoming and so helpful. I want to thank everybody on the show. Aaron, Fran, great job as always. And, of course, as always, we salute all of our emergency personnel. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Hope it's a great one. And, of course, we'll see you back Monday night, 8 p.m., right here, Real America's Voice. And, of course, 103.9 LI News. Thank you all so much as well for tuning in. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday night back here live from Studio 6B.